The Epstein mystery continues. 2 days before Jeffrey Epstein died, he signed a new will and was apparently worth $577 million. Fox News says suicide. And this is likely going to be the official phrasing of most outlets since the medical examiner has ruled it to be a suicide. But I must stress, Epstein's lawyers are not satisfied with the conclusions of the medical examiner. In fact, in another story I highlighted the other day, apparently they're alleging a potential cover-up murder plot. I don't know how plausible it is. It's from a website called Hot New Hip Hop, which is certified by NewsGuard. Makes things very confusing and hard to dig through. But I want to go through a couple really interesting aspects of the ongoing conspiracy. First, we'll read a little bit about his will, and then you guys can determine for yourself if this means anything. I'm just going to give you the latest update. But the real mystery is the photoshopped photographs of Ghislaine Maxwell, I think that's how you pronounce her name. They appear to be fake, as if somebody made a fake photo so that people think she's here when she's not. But there's also, there's one main reason I really wanted to dive back into this, because you realize just how awful the news is. Did no one vet the photographs before publishing this? And now you've got all the media going, hey, wait a minute, this photo's fake. Right. Why? And why make a really bad Photoshop? You know, it could have been that the news organizations were duped. Somebody knew they could make a photo, send it, and they'd pay for it. And there we go. But I also have this from Snopes. Snopes, there's a photo going around comparing the ears and nose of Epstein. And they're trying to, I guess, explain it. And it's really interesting how they try to explain it, because it's actually kind of a weirdly long article to explain simple changes in facial features. So it almost seems like the explanation they're giving is kind of too big. But we'll go through this. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Foster the People, the band, apparently tweeted this thing out. Okay, it's going mainstream. Nobody thinks this guy really killed himself. Of course some people do. I'm being hyperbolic. But I'm going to throw it back to that tweet from Chris Reagan where he's like, I called an Uber, and the first thing the driver says is, yo, they killed that guy in that jail. And he's like, finally, unity. So let's read this. But before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address, or just share this video to help overcome the deranking that YouTube descends. Like, all of these videos that I make are demonetized for the first 24 hours. And then a day later, after all the views are gone, that's when they remonetize. So it's like, there you go, man. That's how YouTube does it. But let's read. They say, disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein's will was filed in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and it showed that he signed it on August 8th, 2 days before investigators said he hanged himself in his New York City jail cell. Now, it could be that someone had just tried to kill him. We don't know if that was a suicide attempt before. And so he was like, I better update my will, because he knew it's coming. Or it could be he knew he was going to end his life. I saw one story, I didn't read through it, but it said something like Alan Dershowitz thinks that Epstein just couldn't face the prospect of life in prison, especially after, and you know, this was one of my initial theories, that, you know, he killed himself because he's used to all this luxury, hundreds of millions of dollars, and now he's apparently in some rat-infested, horrible jail. Like, the jail he was in was just, like, disgusting and the food was terrible, and he's probably, you know, imagine this. Imagine whatever it is you eat every day, and then all of a sudden there's a snap, you can't leave a box, and you're being fed trashy, gross, mold crap food. You'd be like, this is unbearable. So I'm not saying, you know, that's the reason. I think it's you know, it's plausible. But I really do think we've entered Occam's razor territory of murder, right? Let's read on. They said that it was worth $577 million, $18 million more than previously stated in court papers when he tried to land bail. He maybe made money. The 66-year-old put all of his holdings in a trust referred to as the 1953 Trust in court papers, named after the year he was born. There were no details on the trust's beneficiaries. So that's the first update. We'll move on from here because I'm not super concerned. You get it. He signed a will. I don't know what that means. But we did see this story for the past couple days where the defense team, I'll read this quote. The defense team fully intends to conduct its own independent and complete investigation into the circumstances and cause of Mr. Epstein's death, including, if necessary, legal action to view the pivotal videos, if they exist, and they should, of the area proximate to Mr. Epstein's cell during the time period leading to his death. Right? Because if someone went into his cell, you'd see them. You might not see Epstein himself, but you'll see what's going on near the cell. But let's get into the more important thing. People think Ghislaine Maxwell was photoshopped in those in and out photos. Here's all their evidence. So we have this tweet. Let's see what they have. I'm not gonna read through all this necessarily. They say, oh, this is interesting. Unsurprisingly, conspiracy theorists immediately began to nitpick every aspect of the photos, and as is now common practice when dealing with anything surrounding Epstein. In the aftermath of his death, a photo of Epstein on a gurney was even cited as proof by conspiracy theorists that the offender had been replaced by a body double. Almost all of the theories surrounding Maxwell's photo are hardly evidence of anything. While many pointed to the fact that 2 cups were on the table, others noted that it's common for one customer to order a drink and a milkshake at In-N-Out. Except Daily Dot. Did you know that there were 2 trays of food and one was kind of obscured and put on the bench, and there were 2 cell phones on the table? Do your jobs, journalists. Don't publish these photos simply because someone said it's true. Figure out if it's true, and guess what? Now we have this from Inside Edition. You want to know why conspiracy theorists are talking about this? Because the Washington Post said breaks in the neck more common with strangulation. You can't blame people for being like, okay, that sounds weird. That's the Washington Post. Then they say, oh, but these photos, oh, the conspiracy, this Inside Edition. Check this out. Apparently the photos were taken on the 11th, at least according to this video. This is the ad. It says Best New ER, and that's what they're highlighting. I'm not going to play the video, but I want to show you these photos. Check it out. First, this photograph of her sitting at the table, facing the other direction, smiling with her dog. You can see the dog is with her in the other photos, it looks like. But her back is strangely there's a weird manipulation behind her. It's like Instagram reality. Everyone read it? And they have the photos where like the women will Photoshop their butts to be bigger and it bends the wall behind them. You can see it. Now, I can't, maybe I can, well, I'm not going to zoom in, I don't know. In this photo, right, there's 2 drinks, and she's there with her glasses, and there's the ad behind her. It says Good Boys. There's another ad behind her. It says Good Boys. The ad agency claimed it was never there, and later on, people went there, journalists, and the ad wasn't there. So there's a joke going around, it's actually quite funny, where someone said Seth Rogen killed Jeffrey Epstein to promote his new video. Ha ha ha, it's a good joke. His new movie. Here's the thing. Look here on the bench. There's a tray of food. There's a phone. There's what appears to be a phone. Maybe she has a phone and a tablet. Maybe she ordered 2 trays of food. Or maybe there were 2 people there. Occam's razor would suggest the simple solution is 2 phones, 2 trays, 2 drinks, 2 people. Thank you, Daily Dot. But sometimes people order milkshakes in a drink. Yeah, they do. Please, pay attention. Do people order 2 trays with 2 burgers and 2 fries? So, come on, don't play it. Moving on from here, they highlight Good Boys. And he says this appears to have been photoshopped into the image because the ad has never been there. You want to know why they did it? Here's the funny thing, because a lot of people will say, why even put the Good Boys ad in there? You know why? Because this photo, potentially, was taken a really long time ago. And so whatever ad used to be there, like they were concerned, because maybe it was an ad for, I don't know, Avengers Endgame or something, because it was taken months ago. And so this photo, they're like, how do we then make this look like something that's new? Maybe it was not a month ago, but maybe it was like early July. Because according to the ad agency in a story I read the other day, it was since like, I think July 28th, it was an ad for a hospital. So maybe the photo was taken just before then, because also look at this, there's a billboard behind them, right? And I don't know if he shows the billboard later on.
In those photos, the shot alone.
I'm jumping forward, I'll try to keep talking, but... So, where's the guy sitting down? Come on. Anyway, I'll skip it. But anyway, the point is, there's more than just this ad, and this is the ad they actually show. The point of photoshopping it in is so that if the photo actually was taken a month or 2 ago, they put that there to make it seem like it's new, right? As a friend of mine said, it's kind of like a kidnap victim holding up a newspaper so you know it's a new photo. Now, interestingly, the Inside Edition people...
There's a wave of line going down her back.
They brought in a forensic expert who apparently, I guess, he might work in like criminal justice in some capacity. And he mentions in one of the photos, there is a weird wavy line going down her back. That doesn't seem to make sense. As if she was photoshopped into the image, or something was photoshopped out, but the photo seems to have been manipulated. Now, it could be that the Photoshop was falsely manipulated to change nothing, but just make it look weird to throw people off. I honestly don't know. But check this next bit of the conspiracy out. Snopes says while this theory has largely been confined to the fringes, it did receive some mainstream attention. The band Foster the People, for instance, shared the following message with their nearly 1 million followers on Twitter. He said, "I find it strange that I've been chastised by reporters from NBC and other news outlets for my opinion. Everything you guys have been reporting has been conjecture. If you want to be considered a respected authority of truth, do a better job." And he highlights this photo. Now, I'll go into the photo in a better photo. I'll go into the photo in a better image of the the tweet and everything. But it looks like the facial features of the man seen in the photo and Epstein are very different. He says, Foster the People, famous band. "There is no question the government is behind the Epstein cover-up. Research Attorney General Bill Barr and his father's ties with Jeffrey Epstein. Barr helped broker the West Palm Beach deal that kept Epstein away from a life sentence in federal prison." Vomit emoji. "Have you seen photos of the body? It's obviously not him. My guess is Epstein's on a private plane to somewhere in the Middle East getting prepped for plastic surgery right now." What? Foster the People, what? Wow. Foster the People with the Trump derangement syndrome and going hard on the conspiracies. Chill out, buddy. Chill out. Like your music. You've got a lot of really good music. I'm not saying you're wrong. I really do agree with the first statement. It is a lot of conjecture from these reporters, and they shouldn't be acting like they know for sure. But for you to come out and be like, Bill Barr, that's a body double. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here's the thing. Here's the photo that was posted. This is the official photo of Epstein. I might get in trouble for showing this, I don't know. But we got to call it out as it is. And this is alive. You can see the nose is straight and the ear has this wave. And the body has a very different ear and a very different nose. I won't linger on this photo because, YouTube will get mad at me. But they go on to say that, look, there's a lot of reasons why that could be different. The photos are taken like a decade apart. And also, one photo is of a dead guy, and your body does go through changes when you die. However, I don't know if your nose curves over time. Maybe? They say several reasons. According to FARC, Functional Anatomy Research Center, researchers' analysis, all measurements were significantly affected by age. Nasal volume area and liner distance increased. In other words, they found that noses get bigger over time. Yeah, but do they curve? Maybe. Another consistent finding is that the nasal tip angle, okay, the angle created along the bridge of the nose around the tip of the vertical space above the upper lip decreases, meaning the nose tends to droop with age. Several reasons have been adduced for the growth. Ears and indeed noses sag with age, thanks both to a loss of elasticity in the skin and the effects of gravity. Earlobes droop, a phenomenon that can be accentuated by heavy earrings. More controversially, it has been suggested that because, unlike bone, cartilage continues to grow and ears are made of cartilage, they may also account for the phenomenon. But the evidence is sketchy, and some researchers argue that cartilage is only being replaced and does not account for the growth in ear size. Okay, I have no idea, nor do I care. But I will say, if you've got to dig that deep, I mean, all I can really say is this. This argument's not going to convince anybody, okay? You're not going to be able to explain complex science and stuff to the average person. So, Foster the People, you need to calm down. We need to go way, way back, okay? You can't just start talking about cover-ups. We need to go way, way back. There's a lot of weird stuff here. The photos seem to be fake in some capacity. I don't know. His lawyers don't believe it. He signed his will 2 days prior, so it sounded like he knew he wouldn't be alive for much longer, and it's probably because he almost died at the end of July. Did someone try to kill him there? I don't know. But I will stress, when the left and the right both agree someone shut this guy up, when a dude in an Uber says to Chris Reagan, they killed that guy in that jail, everybody thinks so. Now look, just because everybody thinks so doesn't mean everybody's right. Everybody could be wrong. I'm gonna do a trick right here. Okay, a lot of people today believe that at some point people believed the Earth was flat. That's not true. It is so. Typically, people like to say things like this. People used to believe the Earth was flat and they were wrong. Perhaps these people are wrong today. But actually, no one ever believed the Earth was flat. My understanding, as I've researched this, is that as long as we've understood the concept of living on some kind of plane, we had seafaring. And the seafarers saw the horizon. and because of that, made an assumption about the shape of the thing that we were on. And then it was Eratosthenes who did a measurement using shadows and found the Earth is round. And I think that was in like 2 BC. So there was never this myth. But the point is, today, people believe that at some point people thought the Earth was flat. They don't. They're wrong. So just because everybody believes he was killed doesn't mean they are right. They could be wrong too. Let's go back, calm down. Let's not talk about body doubles and Middle Eastern plastic surgery. These photos are probably just to throw the scent off. Maybe. I have no idea. It could have been someone just trying to scam these outlets for money. Hey, here's a photo of Ghislaine Maxwell. Photoshop it to make it look real. They buy it. So apparently, I think I could be wrong, but apparently someone sold the photos. So, well, I'll leave it there. All of this stuff is interesting. I'm not going to tell you what to think. You know, I'm just going to tell everyone to chill out. Well, I guess I'm technically telling you what to think. But I'll say this. I won't tell you what to conclude, but I will tell everyone to chill, look at the evidence, lay it out in front of you, and then work from there. That's all we should do, instead of tweeting about body doubles. Next segment will be at 1 p.m. Stick around. I will see you all there. It'll be on this channel.